Oh boy, if there was one thing I loved more than Spiderman as a kid, it was motherfucking Action Man, baby. If you grew up in the mid-90s to early 2000s, you know what I'm talking about. Back then, every boy was into Action Man, and why not? He's the greatest hero of them all, motherfucker! He was everywhere. You could barely turn on the TV without seeing an advert for some new figure, and then you'd be like, "Oh my god, Action Man Skateboard Extreme! Mom, buy me that shit, now!" And then your ma'd be like, "Oh, for fuck's sake, now I've got to buy more shit for this little fucker. I need some more wine." And then your dad'd be like, "Oh, tidy all this shit up." And you'd be like, "Fuck you, dad, Action Man's my dad now." And he says, "Fuck you too." Man, look at all this shit. Fucking Action Man Spaceman, Action Man Scuba Diver, Action Man Jungle Dart, and Action Man on PS1! That's right, there was an Action Man game on PS1, and you can just guess what I said when I found out about that. "Hey Ma, buy me that shit, now! What do you mean you're not being paid yet? Fucking steal it! I don't care!" So Action Man Operation Extreme was developed by Blitz Game Studios and published by Hasbro Interactive in the year 2000. I've only played it on PS1, because that's all it was released on. Fuck you. We start with a short intro movie, just to show us what our titular man of action is all about. "Oh, the Silver Speeder! I had that! And man, look at these moves. Watch your back, Jackie Chan, you've got some competition. Jesus, this intro is so 2000. Next you come to the main menu. And wow, Action Man's got some pretty sweet digs. Look, he even has the same bedding as me. When I was a kid, I mean. Not now. You can choose a difficulty level, and look, no kid mode. Because this isn't a game for kids, this is a game for men. See, it's in the title, Action Man, not Action Boy. You go to start the game and find out that Professor Gangrene's henchmen are attacking the city and stealing science equipment. Oh. Okay, I guess I'll go and deal with that then. No intro or anything, just straight into the action. 'Cause I'm Action Man, motherfucker! You then get a look at Action Man's garage. And yep, all these were actual toys you could buy. Yeah, this whole game's pretty much just one big toy commercial. Hell, I wouldn't be surprised if every time you see a new vehicle a fucking price tag pops up. So the first level is actually a top-down driving mission. You've got to race around in the Silver Speeder and hunt down Professor Gangrene's henchmen. And you know, this kinda reminds me of a certain other top-down driving game from about the same time. What was it called? Great Threat? Something? Yeah. So you've got to hunt down Professor Gangrene's goons. And you can tell straight away why they had to call in Action Man. Because these are some serious dudes you're dealing with. Driving around in their colourful Hot Wheels cars. Names like Rammer and Slammer. I wouldn't want to fuck with these guys. So you use the arrow in your minimap to track these guys down and then blow them the fuck up. And way to make the streets safer, Action Man. Flying around in your sports car, firing machine guns and rockets all over the place. Now I usually play a little further before I start talking about the controls. But I've got to talk about this. The controls in this level are nuts. That or all the roads in this city are made of fucking ice. The Silver Speeder handles like shit. It moves so fast and the controls are so sensitive that the slightest turn will send you spinning out of control or crashing into a fucking wall. Couldn't they have added a little extra weight to the vehicle physics? So you take these fuckos out, but now you've got to deal with their leader, Toxica. You'll need the 4x4 for that. For some reason. What, the Silver Speeder's not good enough? So now you've got to collect these PowerPoint things to unlock the 4x4. But wait a minute, I thought Action Man already had the 4x4. So why does he need to unlock it? What the fuck? So now you just drive around the city looking for PowerPoints. No more enemies to fight, just looking for PowerPoints. You've got to switch over to your bike to get some of them because your car's too big to fit through some openings. Even though some of them are clearly big enough to fit through. Look at that! Why can't I fit through that? What the fuck? The bike handles just as well as the car too. So you get the PowerPoints, go back to your base, get the 4x4 and now you can face Toxica. And oh god, this voice acting. Yeah, don't expect that to get any better. And I like this little briefing you get to tell you what you can do. With a sports car armed with corrosive chemical splurge guns and toxic bubble generator. I can just imagine the heads of the CIA or something sat around a table discussing an important target, and they're all like, "This target is extremely dangerous. She's got chemical splurge guns and a toxic bubble generator. Our boys are gonna have their work cut out for them this time." So this is the first boss fight. It wasn't bad. You just chase this bitch around and keep shooting her, and she eventually goes to this enclosed area where you just keep on blasting her until she goes boom. And I like the loading screens where it tells you how many enemies you've beaten and it says enemies captured instead of enemies killed. Yeah, I just blew Toxica and her boys the fuck up, but no, they're captured. Action Man doesn't kill. So with that done with, you've now got to find out what Professor Gangrene wanted the science equipment for. So you've got to go and infiltrate his secret lab way out in the desert. Action Man drops in on his little toy hand glider. Fucking false advertising. Whenever I tried that with my action men, they would just fly out the window and go splat on the pavement. So this is the second mission, and it's actually completely different to the first. You're on foot now, the top-down view is gone, and you've got this isometric view instead. These bits form the bulk of the game. So what kind of abilities does Action Man have? Well, to tell you the truth, not a lot. You can run around and jump and climb on things and attack enemies, and that's about it really. You can press the square button to open your inventory where you've got a few weapons and gadgets, and you can use R2 to switch to a traditional third person view to see things that might be hidden by the isometric view. Hey guys, over here! Yoo-hoo! You've got a couple options for dealing with enemies. You can get up close and beat the shit out of them, or you can shoot them from a distance. Yeah, I just put 3 bullets in that guy, but no, he's captured. A lot of the time you can just avoid the enemies completely, because apparently in order to work for Professor Gangrene, you've got to be both blind as a bat and deaf as a post. Well, at least he's a disability-friendly employer. I'm gonna get you, I'm gonna get you. Got you, fuck! So you get inside the base and go into first person to take out some snipers, and then you've got to get up to the upper level.
Jump on crane to get to the upper level.
Thanks. I think I could have figured that out for myself. So you snoop around the lab and discover that Professor Gangrene is using genetically engineered plants to produce a powerful sleeping toxin. Well, we can't have that, can we? There's robots to fight in here too, and they also count towards enemies you've captured. Yeah, I captured a robot, even though I just blew it to Kingdom Come. So you destroy the plants and then create an antidote for the sleeping toxin, because apparently Action Man is also a master chemist and botanist. But there's still the matter of the queen plant from which all the other plants were bred. And oh god, look at that. It looks like what you'd get if the plant from Little Shop of Horrors fucked the Sarlacc pit from Return of the Jedi. So here's your first on-foot boss fight, and it's not much harder than the first driving one. You just avoid its attacks and blast it with your light gun or whatever, and then open the canopy to finish the fucker off. And wouldn't you know that the plant counts towards enemies captured too? Oh yeah, I captured a plant. It's off being waterboarded right now. In fact, they go all the way in with this whole nobody gets killed thing. You know what happens when you lose all your health? Looks like you're dead, right? Nope. Next thing you know, you're being led to a cell. And they're like, now you get in there and think about what you've done. I'll be back for you later, sugar. Then you select continue, and apparently Action Man just pulls a laser cutter out of his arse, and then he's all like,
surprise, motherfucker.
Yeah, I guess since this is a game based on a kid's toy, they couldn't have Action Man just going around slaughtering people. But hell, even Spiderman on PS1 didn't have any qualms about portraying old Spidey as a cold-blooded killer. You could throw people off buildings, and during the time trials it just straight up says enemies killed. Like Jesus, Spider-Man doesn't fuck around. So then you stop the toxin from being flown out via helicopter. What about the guys on the helicopter, Action Man? Are they captured too? And then you finally find Professor Gangrene. Man, this mission's long as fuck. I've been at this for almost an hour. So now you've got to fight his robot spider slayer thing. Not hard, just shoot it until it's stunned and then put bombs on it to finish it off. So with the spider slayer destroyed and the base falling apart, the mission's finally done. But all's still not well, cause turns out a truck carrying sleeping toxin managed to escape and is on its way to Dr. X, and you've got to stop it. So it's time for another top-down mission, but instead of driving, you're now flying around in a helicopter. And if you thought the land-based vehicle handling was bad, just you wait. You've got to hunt down and destroy the trucks carrying the toxin before they can make their deliveries to Dr. X. And again, way to keep people safe. Flying around in a helicopter, firing rockets and machine guns in all directions. What, was Action Man trained by the cops from Spider-Man? And what are his superiors thinking? Action Man's a big enough menace on the road and he's allowed behind the controls of a fucking helicopter? And this thing handles even worse than the cars. It doesn't help that you can't go up, so you can't fly over half the buildings and you just end up crashing into them. Once you've destroyed the trucks, it's back to collecting power points so you can unlock the gyrocopter. Yeah, I had that as well. It even has the light on it. Of course, gotta make sure the kids know about the spotlight. That'll really make them beg their parents to buy it. So you unlock the gyrocopter and it's time for the next boss, the Speedster, the commander of Dr. X's ground forces. And oh yeah, this looks like the kind of guy I'd put in charge of my ground forces. This fight's pretty much the same as the last one. You just chase this jerk off around and stun him with your spotlight and then blast him. Simple as that. It just takes way longer than it should because the fucker's racing around all over the place and the gyrocopter handles just as bad as everything else. Yeah, there's not much to these sections. Hell, the only reason they exist is to show off Action Man's vehicles. Although I will say that the environment is pretty impressive. They did put quite a bit of effort into the detail of the city. So you beat the Speedster, but turns out the whole thing was nothing more than a ruse to distract you while Dr. X took delivery of the toxin. Oh bother! On to the next mission, where you have to infiltrate Dr. X's island base and find out what he wants the toxin for. So it was about this point that I was forming my main criticisms about the game. First up is the combat. It's not bad, but it's not great either. It's just meh really. As I said earlier, you've got two options. You can get close to the enemies and beat them up, or you can shoot them from a distance. There is a measure of strategy involved. Like for some enemies, it's better to beat them up, while for others it's better to stay back and shoot them, and some weapons do more damage to certain enemies than others, but in the end, it doesn't make much difference. It's all pretty much the same. If you're going for melee, you just run up and mash the attack button, and move away when they try to hit you, and if you're shooting, you just stay back and hammer the fire button, while strafing around to avoid their shots if they shoot back. That's pretty much it. There's no real evolution, meaning that the combat quickly becomes repetitive, and overall, it's just boring. Secondly, oh my god, what is with this game and constantly telling you what to do? Seriously, the people who made it must think you're a fucking idiot. Every time you enter a new area, the game has to pause itself and spell out exactly what you're supposed to do. Even in bits where in other games you might have to stop and think about something, like puzzles or boss fights, this game just straight up tells you. What the fuck, it's almost like this game was made for little kids or something. I thought this was a game for men. Sometimes it'll even tell you what to do twice. Like sometimes when you enter a new area, Action Man will say something about the environment, and then the briefing will pop up just to tell you an extended version of what he just said, just in case you missed it the first time. And I wouldn't mind so much if you could at least skip the briefing parts, but you can't. Not all the time at least. Some bits you can skip and other bits you can't for some reason, so you've just got to sit there and listen, while practically breaking your thumb on the X button in the vain hope that the game will have mercy on you and just let you play. And as an aside, yes, I understand that this is a game for kids, and all the hints are meant to help them, and in all honesty, they probably helped me when I was playing as a kid too, but it does feel a little overboard. This isn't a hard game by any means, and I'm pretty sure most kids would have no trouble figuring out what to do. But ultimately, my biggest complaint about this game is that it's just kind of boring. The vehicle levels were kind of fun despite the controls, but the on foot levels, which make up most of the game, were pretty dull. Apart from the combat, which I've already said isn't very exciting, all you're really doing is running around doing what the game tells you to, which mostly amounts to just going to one place, using one of your gadgets, then going somewhere else and using another one, with some occasional light platforming in between, and that's it. It might not have been quite as bad or noticeable if the missions weren't so long. Seriously, each one took about an hour each. Whenever you complete an objective, the game's like, "But wait! There's more!" And then you're like, oh my god, how much longer is this gonna go on for? And then you've got the game stopping every few minutes to tell you what to do, and then these little cutscenes at the beginnings of some areas that you can't skip, and then you've got the whole being taken to your cell thing every time you get killed. It was amusing the first time it happened, but after that it was just fucking annoying. And how many times does this fucking guy have to escape before you learn to fucking search him? Man, who'd have thought a game about Action Man could be so boring? So you go around the base, fucking shit up. Take that, you stupid mutt. Then you come up out of a sewer or something and... oh, hey guys, how's it going? Yep, looks like you've been captured by Dr. X, who's kind enough to explain his whole evil plan. Turns out he's going to use the sleeping toxin to put everyone to sleep, and then use his skull bots to take over the world. Well, I guess you can call that a plan. To be honest, as a kid, I found this cutscene to be pretty intimidating. Dr. X standing over you with his skull bots, all menacing like, No Way Out? Damn. Now? Oh yeah, I'm really intimidated by these guys. Fucking Dr. X with his fucking little goatee, X shirt that he probably wears down to the local leather bar, and lime jello arm, cackling like a fucking lunatic, ancient Egyptian punk rocker boy over here, and their smiley faced robots. Ooh, scary. Oh well, that's it for Action Man, right? Nope. Because turns out Dr. X is about as dumb as fucking Voldemort. Seriously, you had the prick literally in your hands! You could have killed him right fucking there!
What's wrong with you?
Turns out no, because since this is a game made by pussies for pussies, they just spray you with sleeping toxin and you wake up on board a fucking ship. And what was Dr. X planning to do? Just hold Action Man for the rest of his life? So you wake up on the ship and have to get your equipment back. Which wasn't hard, considering they just left it lying around outside your fucking cell. Okay, so now I'm beginning to think that Dr. X is even dumber than Voldemort. Even the Dark Lord himself wasn't this big a fucking clown. Next you fight a big robot, then you sabotage the missiles carrying the sleeping toxin so they explode on the ship, and then you fight Max X in his toy jump jet. And there you go, you're done. And man, fucking took long enough. Now it's time for another vehicle mission, this time in boats and submarines. Well, we've had the cars and aircraft, gotta make sure the kids know about the water-based toys so they can get them on their Christmas lists as well. So you've got to collect pieces of a homing device that'll help you find Dr. X's secret base. But before you can do that, you've got to collect power points to unlock the submarine. Even though you were fucking using it earlier. What the fuck, man? So you're going around on the water and ice, collecting power points and blasting Dr. X's guys. And wouldn't you know that the controls and handling in this mission are the worst of all? You can't move with any precision. Every time you're trying to make a turn, you just end up spinning around all over the place and crashing into things. So you get the power points and now you can use the submarine to get the pieces of the homing device. And I'll say again that the environments in the vehicle missions are actually pretty impressive for the time, especially the underwater area. You collect the pieces of the homing device and now have to go back and get your hovercraft. Oh yeah, can't forget the hovercraft. And come on you fuck, get the fuck in there. Jesus, this fucking game. So now you've got to go around in your hovercraft, destroying the surface defences to find the last piece of the homing device. But psych! Turns out it was never up there because this tosser's got it. Great. Thanks. Thanks for wasting my fucking time with this shit. So now you've got to go back and get your fucking submarine so you can fight... I don't know, what's this fucker called again? The fucking technician or something? Whatever, just get behind the guy and shove a few torpedoes up his arse and there you go. Done. Now it's time for the final mission, where you've got to infiltrate Dr. X's ice base and stop his army of skullbots. Really? We're on the final mission already? Yep, 3 vehicle missions and 3 on foot missions and that's your lot. Yeah, this isn't a very long game. That's probably why they decided to make the on foot missions long as fuck. I remember this game feeling a lot longer when I was a kid. I guess it must have been harder for me back then. Although blasting through it as fast as possible for the sake of making a video might have something to do with it as well. So you've made it to X's ice base, and it's pretty much the same as everywhere else, except apparently Dr. X now has the Hellgastrom kill zone working for him. I really don't have a lot to say, it's all pretty much the same as what's come before. You go here and do this, then go there and do that, and capture a few guys, and that's it. You get to fight Professor Gangrene again, this time with his radio-controlled giant bug toys, and note the different appearance from when you saw him earlier. Now based on the later version of his action figure. Yep, gotta show the different versions of the toy, gotta make sure the kids know there's different ones to get. You beat the bugs and that's it for Gangrene. But you don't even capture him. He just gets angry that you destroyed his toys and then he fucks off. So he's still out there. Nice one, Action Man. So you create a computer virus to destroy the Skullbots, because apparently Action Man is also an expert coder and computer hacker now, and then you've got to use the satellite to broadcast it to the Skullbots that are causing trouble all over the world. But shit, it's not working, because Dr. X's arm is stopping it, somehow. So now it's time to face Dr. X, and again notice his changed appearance from earlier. Hell, they might as well have a price tag pop up whenever a character appears on screen as well. Alright, so the final fight was actually pretty enjoyable. It wasn't challenging, and it went on for too long, but it was fun. Actually, the boss fights in this game weren't bad. The combat itself wasn't great, but at least they were pretty decent. This is another simple fight. You just keep blasting Dr. X in his robot Spider Slayer suit until he gets stunned, and then you run up behind him and punch him in the back. Yeah, just run up and punch the giant metal robot, Action Man. That'll work. So you finally beat Dr. X and stop the Skullbots. And way to go, guys. Send me in by myself and then show up after I've done all the fucking work. Thanks, you wankers. You show Dr. X to his cell, he cries like a little bitch, and they all live happily ever after. So that's Action Man, Operation Extreme, and thank fucking Christ. This was a difficult script to write, mostly because it was hard to find things to talk about. I actually skipped over a lot of bits because I just couldn't think of anything to say. It's not a bad game, but it's not very good either. It's mostly just mediocre and forgettable. The gameplay is fine, but it's not very exciting, and the further you go, the more monotonous it becomes. The saving grace is that it's short, but all that does is further drive home the fact that it's just a glorified toy commercial, a pretty blatant one at that. But despite that, it's clear that some effort did go into it. The story is pretty decent, considering it's a game for little kids. I found it oddly compelling, and at times I honestly did feel a little invested in stopping Dr. X. The graphics are pretty good for the time. I was genuinely impressed by the detail in the vehicle missions. The on-foot missions were okay, as long as you don't zoom in too much, but the character models were a bit... yeah. I actually really liked the music. In the vehicle missions you've got this upbeat thumping techno track, and then in the on-foot missions you've got these slow atmospheric pieces that are actually pretty suspenseful and memorable. The voice acting is cringe, but really what can you expect from a game like this? At least it sounds like everyone was trying. I just wish that Action Man could have actually sounded like a badass action hero instead of just some kid's dad during playtime.
I knew I would find you somewhere, Max. I see Dr. X has left you to mess things up on your own.
The doctor's plans will succeed without the sleeping toxin. Nothing can stop his Skullbot army.
I can stop it.
Overall, it was amusing to revisit this one, but to be honest, I'm in no rush to do so again. So unfortunately, Action Man is no longer the pop culture icon he once was. His popularity waned significantly in the early to mid 2000s, and he was discontinued in 2006, only to be repackaged as this monstrosity. What the fuck is that? That's not Action Man. What do you call this? Alpha Teens on Machines? Teens? Teens? What the fuck? You took the greatest hero of them all and turned him into a whiny fucking squeaker whose balls probably haven't even dropped yet?
Look how they massacred my boy.
Thankfully that travesty was cancelled after a couple years, and the Action Man that I knew was briefly revived in 2009. Action Man still exists today, though they've reverted back to the original military-inspired designs that released all the way back in the 60s, and it seems that the Action Man that I knew and loved is dead, and is never coming back. And to be honest, looking back at this stuff now as an adult, that might actually be for the best. So there's another video done and dusted. Man, this one was hard. I really struggled with writing the script. As a quick aside, I was just fucking around when I was ragging on Alpha Teens on Machines. That was after my time. I'd already grown out of Action Man by that point. So if you liked Atom or whatever and still do, then more power to you. I was just joking. Thank you for watching the video, I hope you enjoyed, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Thanks again.